One. Here we go!
Good day, viewers, and welcome back to yet another edition of We Talk. I am Precious Nitonapo, your host and presenter for this show. So today we have quite an interesting, I know I always say this, but we have quite an interesting interview and recommendation lined up. We speak to Charles, who gives us a little insight on his book that he wrote regarding workplace disciplinary procedures, I believe, speaking under correction, of course. We'll have a little chat with Charles just regarding the book that he wrote and what inspired the book, and it's definitely something that I believe every workplace should have. We also have a look later on at our We recommendation as well as our WeChill segment that of course leads us into the weekend, so I would definitely say that you stick around just to have a look at what to expect for this weekend. But before we get into the rest of the show, I think it's time we head over to our news edition. In today's news edition, we look at Parata's partnership with shops in Windhoek's informal settlement. In a partnership deal, Paratus Namibia has now branded 3 shops in informal areas in Windhoek where its mobile LTE services are advertised and sold. The stores are independently owned and managed by local shop owners, while the Paratus branding and marketing is facilitated by Namots. Namots is a marketing company that has created a business solution for the informal sector with professionally managed retail outlets where the branding has impact and where people can shop conveniently near their homes. MD of Paratus Namibia, Andrew Hall, is excited about the initiative. This is just the beginning because we plan to open more shops soon. With approximately 1.8 million of Namibia's total population believed to be untapped, this presents an enormous opportunity for the Paratus brand. This is a workable and fully tested mechanism that not only reaches but also educates and provides services to an untapped market. Through this ideal solution, we are also giving back to those communities at the same time, and that is what makes this partnership a win-win for everyone. Namots was established by Mark Colley, who identified the opportunity for brands and businesses to reach the informal sector. Our outlets are strategically located in the heart of the community. They are an effective and affordable billboard for our customers, and they are enormously successful. The fact that we train people in the community to run the stores and pay rentals to community owners of the sites is important because this also contributes to promoting brand loyalty while providing critically needed jobs. We manage and monitor the outlet's transactions and report to our clients on a monthly basis. Hall adds, what we like about the partnership is that we will stand out in the communities. Our brand will have a tremendous impact as we serve new communities with a Paratus product range. This initiative aligns with the Paratus vision to transform Africa through exceptional digital infrastructure and customer service. We will be on the ground where it matters, giving communities the services they need. Now that we have landed in the Equano subsea cable in Swakopmund, there will be 20 times more internet capacity available, and this means there will be more options for more people to be connected. The wins around this project just keep coming. That brings us to the end of today's news edition. I hope you stick around for the rest of the show. Good day, viewers, and welcome back to another edition of We Talk. It's, of course, time for our interview for the day, and I am seated next to Charles Mukaya, one of the authors of this book, General Principles on Workplace Disciplinary Procedures, which is what we are going to discuss for today. But first, let's have Charles introduce himself.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, viewers. My name is Charles Mukaya. I am a candidate legal practitioner, currently doing my articles of clerkship at Fisher Kwambi and Pfeiffer Attorneys. I recently graduated from the University of Namibia with a degree in law. And this book is a collaborative project between me and my co-author, Marvin Avarab. And we've been working on this project for almost 3 years, since my third year in 2021, and we only got it published now this year. Finally, it's arrived.
Wow, I heard you mention 3 years.
Yes,
3 years is quite some time to work on a book, but that only means that you really put your best into it, right?
Yes, yes.
So, General Principles on Workplace Disciplinary Procedures, the Namibian edition. Why this?
Okay, so currently now, the way the employment law is set up in Namibia is there's actually a need, or let's say more of a demand, for this type of book in Namibia, because it's one of those books that speak to contemporary social issues, more especially in relation to employment law, because we see things of employees getting dismissed from their workplace for unfair labor practices are things that are always happening in Namibia. But then the problem with that is most often employees are always dismissed in the workplace without actually understanding the misconducts that they are charged with, or the types of disciplinary offenses that they are being charged with. So that's why me and my co-author saw it fit to kind of like come up with sort of a practical book that sort of addresses the needs of employees in the workplace, more in relation to the rights that they have as employees in the workplace. So we wanted to come up with a book that was more practical, in the sense that not only employees, but also employers, HR practitioners, students can use as a reference guide to sort of look at the types of misconduct in the workplace and kind of like apply when they're also charged with disciplinary offenses, or even studying for labor law in their law school as well. Yeah.
No, I definitely think this book, it's safe to say that this book is like a handbook that every employee should have, or at least have read once or twice, especially also for the younger generation that are just entering, the workforce, that are just starting to get into their different work environments. I think it's definitely something that's interesting to have and interesting to have a look at. But then again, a Namibian perspective is what blows me away, and I think it's the most important aspect of this book. It's relatable for us, and it is what can help us directly. But I know getting a book to be published is not something that comes easily, and like you've mentioned before, 3 years, and you said it's a project that you started mid-study, so you were still in your second year.
It's my third year of studies in law school. Yes.
So what were you seated in one of your classes and the idea spiked, or how did it come about?
So the idea was actually, as I said, it was a collaborative project between me and my co-author. So my co-author had an idea of, he really just wanted to look at not labor law, but employment law. He has a lot of wide experience in chairing disciplinary hearings. He has chaired a few disciplinary hearings himself. I have also been fortunate enough to also look at disciplinary hearings. So we kind of both had the practical understanding of how these hearings work, and then that's when we said, no, let's develop a guide to sort of assist employees and HR practitioners and sort of all of the target groups or the target audience for the book. So what we did was we worked out a timeline to say, you can look at certain areas of law, you'll also look at certain areas of law, and we kind of worked out sort of a map of how we are going to do it. He did his part, I also contributed my part as well, and then that's how we were able to come up with this final project. After, of course, a lot of editing and reviewing, and you know how publishing works. There's a lot of editing
back and forth. So when we speak about this book, we obviously are talking about Marvin Avarab and Charles Mukaya's Brain Baby. I just felt
Exactly.
that it was important to mention the other author because we've
Yes.
been talking about the other author. So he goes by the name of Marvin.
He's actually a
Avarab.
Dr. Marvin Avarab.
Dr. Marvin Avarab.
Yes, he's a
So
doctor,
there you
yeah.
have it.
Yeah.
I see here Juta is one of the names on the front page of this book. Tell us a little bit about your journey with them in getting the book published.
Okay, so Juta is our publisher. So they are the ones who published this book for us. So it's a publication house in South Africa. It publishes a lot of books in different areas, but for us now it's Juta Law. So it published a book because this book we regard as like a book that falls within the field of law. So our journey with them was very good. You know, they were very, helpful. As far as the timeline is concerned, they're a very good publisher, and we have really good working relations with them as well. And for them to pick an idea and for them to be able to see an idea that we had and to be able to publish it. So I feel like for us as authors, this is actually a win for us because, if you look at our field of law and as far as publishing is concerned, we don't really have a lot of publishers, Namibian publishers. Because if you look at the way the field is set up, most people just want to practice. Not everybody wants to contribute to literature, especially in the legal fraternity.
That's true. So
that's where Avarab and I come in. We both share a love for writing and publishing. So because of our love for writing and publishing, that's when we said, no, let's contribute to literature. Let's contribute to the field of law that is actually lacking, which is labor law, employment law, which is more contemporary because it's something that happens on a day-to-day basis. Yeah.
No, that's actually quite interesting to hear. And what interests me more is the fact that you mentioned you both share a love for writing.
Yes.
So can our viewers expect another book, probably looking at something else, preferably not the workplace?
I mean, who knows what the future holds. Hopefully we might get another publication soon. Yeah.
Okay, that's quite interesting. So let's talk about the shelf. Do we have this book on any of our shelves, the CNAs and the Waltons and your libraries where you can find all your other general law books?
Okay, so far now we've ordered several copies with our publisher Juta. We should be expected to arrive somewhere within this week or next week. For those viewers who are interested in the book and who don't want to wait for those publications to arrive, they can also purchase a print-ready version on the Juta website, Juta store website. It's available there now for $395. They can just place an order there, or they can also order directly from the publisher, Juta itself. Yeah.
Okay. Definitely think it's something interesting to have on our shelves. Definitely think it's something interesting for all employers as well as employees to have and have a look at. I hope you guys manage to partner up with a few companies and institutions and actually have them purchase this book and include it in part of their induction processes in their workforce. I think it's really something to have a look at in our country. It's really something, it's a small pandemic that we might be going through. Just to also educate yourself as an employer as well as an employee. Let's have a look at this book. Let's have a look at the contents and support a locally published book for Namibians, made by Namibians.
Yes.
But Charles, that brings us to the end of our interview for today. Thank you so much for stopping by.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Viewers, and welcome back to another edition of We Talk. It's of course time for our We Recommend segment, and today we stopped by Penduka Village, which is a recreational center just at the tip of Koreachab Dam, if I have to put it like that. But we're gonna head in and see what exactly they have to offer. I'm actually very excited to see what it is. I heard they have beautiful accommodation, there's beautiful recreational activities and spaces, as well as a workshop. So they have quite a variety to offer, and I can't wait to show you guys. Let's have a look.
Sound.com. bensound.com. 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 bensound.com.
Three, two, one.
We're in the third week of the month, and with a long weekend for many, entertainment items are on the quieter side. However, currently underway is the Rough and Tough Rally. This is a 3-day Namibian adventure with 1990 vehicle models and older. Will cover around 1,000 kilometers to create awareness and raise funds for the Cancer Association. This rally takes place until Sunday. On Saturday at 6:30 a.m., the annual Multiple Sclerosis Awareness 5-kilometer fun run and walk starts and ends at the SKW parking area in the capital. Participation is $80 for persons 10 years and older and $40 for those younger than 10. Of course, this is a very worthy cause to support.
3, 2, 1.
If you're going to the coast, why not join Roshana Gray from Felton Sea at 9:45 for a day of exploring the Atlantic coastline and discovering local wild and forage food, starting at the Baardewonne Beach parking outside Swakopmund. For everyone traveling this weekend, remain vigilant and safe. If you're staying home, enjoy.
Well, there you have it, viewers. That brings us to the end of today's edition of We Talk, our interview with Charles, our We Recommend segment, our WeChill segment, as well as our outro, where we are now. I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of the show and that you stick around for next week's edition. Thank you.